Sonja. For those of you stopping by for the very first time, I feel like it has been a hot minute since I've done a DIY project. I will let you know more in on that later on in the video, and it definitely has been a lot longer than just a hot minute since I had showed my face on this channel. So I wanted to say hello, welcome, thank you so much for sticking around and being patient with me. Also welcome if you're brand new to this channel. I do lots of different DIYs, but for today I will be focusing on look for less. I had gone thrifting, I had gone to dollar store to gather up items that I saw things that I would like to have but cost a lot of money, and then I went ahead and bought supplies to make those things. So I will be showing you what the item that I'm replicating is, how much it costs if I have the prices, which I shouldn't be hard. And then I'll show you what my project looks like. But I also want to say, make sure you stick around till the end, because at the end I will be showing you how I use these DIYs that I've created today in styling my home, and how I use items to, so one of them is a vase, and how I style it in my home. So make sure you stick around till the end. I will be sharing that at the end. So without further ado, let's get started. So for this very first DIY, I had picked up this pumpkin from Dollarama. I loved it because of its odd shape. It's just, you know, not your typical pumpkin shape. And it was, I believe these were $3, but correct me if I'm wrong, they might have been $4. I don't know what happened to the price tag. And like I said, I love the shape of it. I absolutely hate the color of it. So I thought I'm going to give it a new life. I went to HomeSense and found these pumpkins, which I thought they looked really nice. They were $24.99, so about the same size. I think they were a smidgen smaller, but they were the right color. So I thought I can make these into this one into those. So for the makeover, I'm going to use the Americana Decor Chalky Finish. It's in color New Life. And I picked this up at a dollar store that's called Your Dollar Store with More. They tend to have really neat things there, a little bit more expensive than Dollarama and Dollar Tree, but lots of different stuff. And then I'm also going to use my Annie Sloan Dark Wax. Any antiquing wax would work. I would like to use more of a chalk paint. I was actually gonna go with Chateau Gray from Annie Sloan, but it has completely dried out. I did pour some water in it in hopes that it will come back to life, but we'll see. And then I'm also going to use my I just washed these, so they're a little bit wet still. My paintbrush. This is just my go-to paintbrush for chalk paint. And then I'm also going to obviously use a bowl where I can just add the chalk paint in. So are you guys all ready and set up for fall? Have you started decorating? I'm almost done decorating. I did know that I was gonna add a couple more pieces after I DIY them, but that's why everybody's gonna just have to come back to my home tour to check that out. And you can see how I decorated my whole home for fall or any season over on my home channel, which is linked down below. It's At Home with Sonja, or it used to be called DIY Domestic Diva Home. I have just recently started changing all the names over to Life with Sonja, DIYs with Sonja, At Home with Sonja, and things like that. So the home tour is on At Home with Sonja. I don't know if I said that or if I say Life with Sonja. I'm sure it's gonna be on there as well. So like I said, the reason why I wanted chalk paint was because it does do a bit better job in covering up. You don't need to do as many coats as you would maybe with acrylic paint. Now, another neat idea would be to add some cornstarch to your paint. Then you would get a little bit more texture in your paint, which would also, I think, look pretty neat on here. Now, I will be showing that technique if you're not familiar with it, but if you are an avid crafter, you are familiar with that. In my next DIY, when I'm gonna be working on a vase, and I can't wait to show you guys the vase that I had picked up, thrifted. I also wanted to share with you, I did find at Kirkland Home this pumpkin, and it was $17.99 on sale. A regular price, I believe, was $30. So not overly expensive, but still a great saving of making my own. And for the little crevices, I am using a different brush just to get in here. Now, as you can see, I will be needing another coat, simply because of the type of the material that the pumpkin is made out of. It's a little bit of a smooth. You could possibly rough it up a little bit just so the paint sticks to it a little bit better, but I'll just let it dry completely and then I'll add another coat to it. I think it's already looking better. The green is a little bit brighter than what I would go with, but don't worry, that's where the dark wax comes in. So while this is drying, I'm going to go and get my vase and we're gonna work on that. So check this out. I'm just going to move my camera out a little bit. This is a perfect shape. It was exactly what I was looking for. I don't obviously love the sunflowers. At one point in my life, I would have loved the sunflowers, but I am way over that. Now, the inspiration for this, I actually saw on Instagram from a lady that was showing her kitchen, and she had this vase. I did take a screenshot of it, which I will insert it here. I'm not sure how much her particular vase costs, but I know they range in hundreds of dollars at Pottery Barn, especially this size. So for this, I'm going to be using several different colors. So I'm going to be using charcoal chalk paint by Rust-Oleum, Annie Sloan white wax. I'm also going to be using a gilding wax by Annie Sloan. So I know I did promise you guys I was gonna add a cornstarch into this paint, but I'm looking at the vase that I'm trying to replicate and the texture of this vase, and it really doesn't need any more texture. So I will insert a video where I have used chalk paint in the where I have used cornstarch in the chalk paint and the texture that it had come out with, so you can check that out in case if you really wanted to see that. I'm going to use my other paint for chalk brush, just because the other one is covered with green, and it's this one, and I did pick this one just on Amazon, and it was very inexpensive. Did I pick this one? I think so, yes. So I'm gonna give this a full coat of the charcoal paint. And did I tell you I got this for $5.49? I did take the price, $5.49 at Value Village. The coverage is phenomenal. So it's fully painted now, and I'm going to let it dry. Probably gonna have to touch up areas where my hand's gonna touch it, but as you can see, showing up a little bit, but don't worry, we're not going to put another coat, but we will be doing other things to it. The last thing I'm going to be DIYing is this Mercury pumpkin or gourd. I thrifted this a couple years back. I think it was like $3, and I've used it in my decor quite a bit, but I am just finding last year and even this year I am not reaching for it. I love the shape of it, so I thought, well, might as well give it a new life before I decide to chuck it or give it to somebody else. I'm pretty sure I can give it a new life, that I can still use it for a couple more years. So back at Home Sense, I did see one that I really like. Now it was wooden, but I really liked the way it looked, and I thought I can definitely make this out of this one. Right away when I saw it, this one came to my mind, and I thought for sure I can make this look very similar to that.
Also wanted to share that I found a similar item at Pottery Barn at $84 regular price, on sale for $67. So this is a pretty good savings for an item I was going to throw out.
So back to painting, and this time I'm going to be using Annie Sloan chalk paint in Old Ochre. I think it is a very creamy, almost beigeish white. This is what that looks like. And I'm going to use the chalked white paint. So I'm going to take this outside and spray paint it, and then I'm gonna come back. I'll show you the spray painting process as well. I don't know if you can see, but there's condensation on the pumpkin because it is like 42 degrees outside. Probably not the best time to spray paint. So here it is, all spray painted. I did not spray paint the top. I'm going to do something different on the top, so I just left it, which gave me the ability to actually hold it up. So I'm gonna let that dry. So the vase is pretty much dry. So I'm going to use the white wax. So this is what that looks like. You could also do dry brushing with white paint if you wish so. So I just put a whole bunch on my brush. I'm gonna try this one. Hopefully it will work, but you don't want to have too much. And this side is drier, and then I'm gonna just brush it on in all the opposite directions, swirl it. You could also take a towel and just gently rub it on. I'm gonna get some more. You can apply more in some areas, less in the others. Depends on how you want it to turn out. Now this is not a finishing wax. It does not work the same way as finishing wax. I know somebody had left me a message one time, but I think they were not understanding what type of wax this was. This will not protect your piece, like if you're doing furniture or anything like that. Typically I do not wax my vases and stuff like that. You totally could if that's what you want. I usually don't. If you can really see the effect, but it is really pretty. See, it's still a little wet here, so I am going to just show you now what I'm gonna do on this side, just because there's another technique that I want to do with the gilding wax. I'm going to add a little bit of it on there because that's what the picture did show.
as well, and then I can play around a little bit more with if I want to add a little bit more white wax in certain areas or not. Just trying to figure out which would be the best brush to use. So I'm gonna just squirt some of this on. To add it to the bottom as well, and there's a little crack here at the bottom which I thought would look really good right there. It's not cracked all the way through, it's just more like a chip. Looks really good. And I'm going to add, just because I can see right here, I would like to add a little bit more white paint. I mean wax. I'm just giving it a gentle brushes. There, I'm gonna do the same thing here. Like I said, you can totally do this with white, dry brushing white paint as well. It will give you a very similar look. Maybe not the same finish to touch, but the look. And I'm just trying to get rid of like where you can see like there was almost a brush stroke. So I just try to blend those in. And I'm going to show you here as well. So if you don't achieve the look that you're going for, you can take your brush that you use to paint it, because it probably is still dirty from the paint, and you can just add a little bit of paint to certain areas. Again, just rub it in. Really, it is just playing around and getting what you want out of it, and blending. It's like applying eyeshadow. Blend, 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 blend. So I'm going to finish, probably do the same look on the other side. So I must say I'm quite impressed with the way this turned out, and what a saving for $6 versus $100 to $200 to what I would have spent if I bought it brand new. And I love the way it turned out. So I am back with this one. It is completely dried to the touch anyways. I think it's mostly dry. It is dry. So now I'm going to add the old ochre chalk paint, and I'm going to go right into the crevices with, or on this, well, I'm gonna try to go on the side of the crevices, but I'm not sure that I will be able to. Actually, might be just easier to go into the crevices. And I'm not adding a ton of paint. It's more of a building process. You can build up to it while the paint is sliding off. Don't think it's quite dry in some areas yet. So I'm just gonna dab it on. So I was going to talk to you guys about why I haven't been here for so long. So if you're not following along on Instagram, you probably missed it. But long story short, I used to do home daycare. Then in 2021 I took a break for about 18 months, and I decided to go back. So I went back into home daycare in March. It took me about just under a month to fill up, and I've been going strong ever since. It has been a bit of an adjustment. I did go get licensed through the region. In Canada, well, in Ontario anyways, you cannot hold a daycare license yourself. You have to go through a licensing agency. So I decided to go through the region. So it's been a bit more work in a sense of paperwork and just making sure that certain things are running properly in the house. Not that those things weren't important before, but there's just some areas that, let me just be quite honest with you, that I think are a little bit ridiculous, but you know, you have to comply. So so like I said, it's been a bit of an adjustment for me again, and I am a creature of routines and habits and all that stuff, and when something throws a wrench in it, I tend to takes me a while to kind of get my bearings back up, and I don't even know if I'm saying that right, but just to, you know, get things back up and running again. I know it's doable. I've done this with daycare before, and with other businesses running alongside of it, so I know that I can manage to do it. It's just trying to figure out what works for me. And also I had a big adjustment with sleep time. Before, I used to have, you know, two and a half solid hours that I could concentrate on other things while the kids slept, like maybe cleaning the house or working on editing a video and stuff like that. I did have a child that did not nap, and she was a little bit, I could not leave her unattended or unentertained at all. So that kind of took away that time from me. So, but she is starting school in next week, so I am getting the time back because everybody else does nap. So I am hoping that I can get some editings done, and then probably do recordings at night, just like I'm doing this one, and then go from there. Just wanted to let you guys know that that is what's been going on. I'm just trying to figure things out and what works and what doesn't work. So I think that turned out really, really nice. It does really increase the little depths, but I'm feeling like I need a little bit something else. I'm thinking, what if I, once this dries again, took a dark wax and just added a little tiny bits into it, and maybe that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to actually use the dark wax for the little stem anyways, so I'm gonna work on that while the chalk paint dries. Kind of like the way this turned out. It almost gave it a kind of a bronzish look. I don't mind that at all. So I think that's looking kind of nice. I might have to use some paint at the bottom.
So I'm going to continue doing this all around, and then I'll show you what it looks like and see if I fix these little cracks or if I'm just going to leave them as they are. I'll probably add a little bit of white paint to them just because they're not looking very nice. Okay, so as you saw, I went over the dark wax to fix some of those scrape offs with the old ochre, and I think that turned out really good. I can't wait to show you in the daylight and with all my decor. I just love the way this looks. I think it's gonna match perfectly now in my decor, and I couldn't be more happy. So this definitely needs one more coat. So this will need a bit more drying, and then we can finish it off after. So here it is, all painted up. And now I'm going to use my dark wax. To work in sections, and I'm putting generous amount. Just show you, I think that looks absolutely stunning. So I'm gonna continue. Just gonna add a bit more right around the stem. And I think some of that orange popping out is nice too, because you know how there's those pumpkins with orange kind of just showing up here and there, and I kind of like that idea too. So I think this turned out really nice. I'm just going to paint the little stem now. I'm gonna use the Cocoa by Rust-Oleum. Show you. Now I want to go get some more pumpkins because I just love the way this one looks, and for $4 you can't go wrong. Well, I hope you guys enjoy these videos, and here is what all of my things look like in my decor. And if you want to see more decorating videos, make sure you head on over to my home channel, where I share decorate with me's as well as home tours, and you can really see how I showcase some of the DIYs that I've created over the years. This one is definitely one of my favorite, and especially paired with the green pumpkin. I just think it looks so good. Let me know what you guys think. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you're not subscribed, and I'll see you all in my next video. Thanks for watching.